Hello, my name is Victoria Dyadic, and I'm a Marie Curie Early Stage Researcher Fellow at the University of Bremen in Germany. And I want to tell you about our work in exploring how COVID-19 has impacted community-dwelling dementia caregiving diets. And by diets, I mean the person with dementia together with their caregiver. In this context, we also looked into the diet's use of social technology before and during the pandemic. As we know, the COVID-19 restrictions led to most non-essential services being closed, leaving many community-dwelling people with dementia and their family caregivers mostly confined at home, with few activities to engage in. And this is concerning, as social participation is recognized to be crucial for health and well-being. Social technology might mitigate some of the adverse effects of the COVID-induced isolation by either connecting users or providing safe and engaging activities to do at home. In fact, there are many technology-based social interventions that have shown promise in engaging dementia caregiving diets in meaningful activities, positively impacting social health, including relationship quality and care resilience. Therefore, the aim of our multiple case study, nested within a larger ongoing feasibility trial, was to assess how COVID-19 has impacted community-dwelling dementia caregiving diets. In addition, we wanted to explore if and how the diets use social technology and their motivation for using technology for social purposes. And we hope that our findings from this study will enhance communication and spark a discussion about this important topic of how the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted social participation and dyadic interactions among people with dementia and their caregivers. To keep within the time frame, I will briefly report on the preliminary results from our inductive thematic statement analysis of baseline interviews from 8 participating dementia caregiving diets, each diet consisting of a person with dementia and their family caregiver. 2 overarching themes were identified, but the first was living with dementia during COVID-19. This encompassed 3 further sub-themes: social and leisure activities, dyadic interactions, and adjusting as a caregiver. And how diets felt that their social health had been impacted by COVID depended firstly on how socially active they had been before the outbreak. Secondly, on the extent they kept in touch with their social networks through technology. And finally, the severity of the dementia stage, which seemed to be the strongest influencing factor of how well the diets coped throughout the pandemic. The second overarching theme was named the role of technology in a pandemic, which included the 4 sub-themes of facilitating social activities, facilitating dementia care-related activities, barriers and facilitators to using social technology, and the underlying motivation to invite technology into dyadic interactions. And here I will only briefly elaborate on the identified barriers and facilitators of using social technology for dementia caregiving diets, which were related to tech literacy, user willingness, and sufficient support. Most noteworthy was that it seemed that the limited tech literacy was not an important barrier in itself, rather lack of support for those who are unfamiliar with technology. The insecurities that older adults might feel in using new technologies were visible during the interviews, but it became clear that as long as sufficient support was available, none of the participants would have any reservations in learning how to use new technology. All in all, the extent to which dementia caregiving diets had to adjust to the COVID-19 restrictions seemed to be influenced by 2 main factors: how active the diet had been within their social supportive networks, and their familiarity with social technology. One thing was clear: contrary to the existing misconception of technology aversion in older adults, our participation's limited tech literacy was rather due to the lack of sufficient support. But if we are to encourage people with dementia and their family caregivers to engage with new technology, we need to dismiss the stereotype of older adults as technophobes, and rather direct our attention on how to sufficiently support this population to embrace the potential that technology might provide. As there is so much more to this discussion than what I can outline to you in 5 minutes, I would like to take this opportunity to invite you to ask any questions you might have about this presentation, about social health and dyadic relationships in dementia caregiving, or the role of technology to support social participation. You can also contact me via the email indicated on the slide or follow me on Twitter. Thank you.